Welcome to the Movie Night Special. Yes, the channel name has changed from the Movie Podcast to the Movie Night Special. And that's the reason for that. I'm just trying to try something new. But a new thing I am bringing to this channel are movie reviews. And I'm not gonna be doing a separate review for every single movie. That's too much work, and honestly I don't have the time for that. But I do have a stack of movies I have been watching, and I'll give my thoughts on them. These are not masterpieces. Well, a couple of them can be considered masterpieces depending on who you talk to. But yeah, these are all first time watches for me. Now this first one. This really is a product of its time, the 80s. And it's a horror comedy. Some might say in some ways the ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street in some ways. But I really don't see that. But it's called Doom Asylum. Where do I begin? This movie is chock filled with 1980s stereotypes in so many ways. If you have a stereotype, it's in here. It's in here. But basically, what this movie is about is about, let's see. It's about a man and his fiance who were in a car accident. Fiance dies, and this man is heavily deformed. He's considered dead. So he's rushed to the what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm trying to find it. Anyway, he's rushed to this room where basically they're going to cut him open to find what's going on. On to find out he is not dead. And he obviously takes the tools and he cuts these doctors up. And then we get a flash forward. This building is no longer working. An order has been shut down. But this guy's still hiding in there and living in there. And the takes place in present day 1980s, where all these kids are going to this building to have a party or a rave there, and not knowing that this psycho is still living there, and it turned into a slasher movie with every type of stereotype you can think of. And the standout in this movie, it's not a good movie, it really isn't, but it's a funny movie. The standout is the black character, the black guy. I have plenty of friends who are African American, and they don't act like this guy. It's so stereotypical, but it is entertaining. Doom Asylum. You can get it from Arrow Video. I would just wait for a sale, be honest. Yeah, Doom Asylum. Next movie I want to talk about is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called Eraser. Now, there are very few Arnold movies I've never seen. This is one of them I haven't seen. Arnold plays a man called Agent John Kruger. Yes, you heard me right. John Kruger. Oh, Lord. This is a product of his time again. This is the early 2000s. Anyway, he plays a U.S. Marshal. He called him the Eraser, because he's the guy that they go to whenever person needs to go into the witness protection program. And he's in charge of erasing your identity, giving you a new identity, making sure you're safe. Well, he gets an assignment to protect this woman who basically is the second in charge of this weapons development company. And the CEO of this company starts selling weapons to terrorists, only to find out that there's a much bigger picture here. And Arnold, also known as Agent John Kruger, his bosses might be up to no good too. So basically, it's one of those movies where he gets framed for something they didn't do, and the truth needs to come out. That's basically what Eraser is. It's a fun early 2000s. It's a fun mid 1990s movie, but it feels like an early 2000s movie too. So, Eraser. Okay. I am not really dove deep into the movies of Dario Argento. And I know that's no excuse for that. But I watched this one last night. It is getting a 4K in a few months as of the time I'm recording it. I've been wanting to see for a while. As what's her name? It's got Donald Pleasance in it, which is good, which is really good. And it has the main character, Jennifer Connelly. I'm probably butchered her last name. Basically, it's the girl from basically it's a 1980s girl, but it's kind of phenomenal. From Synapse Films. This was an interesting movie. And I mean that in the most positive way possible. This is a really good, suspenseful film. And it really sticks to the mystery part of it. You don't know what's going on or why it's happening. But our main character, she starts sleepwalking. And for some reason, she can talk to insects. Yeah, she can talk to insects. But at the same time, she's visiting a boarding school, murders are taking place. And she gets caught in the middle of that. And her friends start dying. And everyone in her school starts making fun of her because she can talk to insects and she thinks she's crazy. Her teachers think she's crazy. But the standout performance in this movie is, of course, Donald Pleasance, which plays an insect researcher, obviously. But, yeah, anything he does is going to bring him in. There's a supporting character in this movie. At first I was like, why? But I watched the movie, hey, it was okay. And that supporting character is a chimpanzee. Yes, there's a chimpanzee in here. He was a supporting character. Watch it. You either like it or you hate it. But I thought it was okay. Finally. Our final film. This is a very controversial film. And I can see why. It's one of those movies where it's a slow burn. A very slow burn. Like I said, it's like one of those movies where it's like the first act is slow, getting started. We go into the third act. Not third act. We go into the second act. It's like, come on, pick up. But then something happens like that in the third act. From then on, it's just downright insanity. 2009's movie, directed by Ty West. I'm sure everyone knows who Ty West is right now, along with the X and Pearl and Maxine trilogy going on right now. But this is one of his earlier films back in 2009. House of the Devil. This is not a movie you take your mother to see. No. This movie, what captured me about this movie wasn't the story, wasn't the characters, because they're very bland, in my opinion. But it was the way the movie was shot. This is the movie made in 2009. Ty West shot this movie like it was a 1970s movie. If you did not tell that person who's watching this for the first time it was made in 2009, they wouldn't believe you. This movie looks, feels, and was shot like a 1970s horror movie. And that's the biggest praise I can give this movie. It's still a great movie, but it didn't really do something to me as far as what I would like to see in the movie. But all that aside, of all these movies here, these two right here were the best shot films of the stack. And that's all I got right now. Probably tomorrow or Thursday I have another video coming up. It's a huge Blu-ray haul that I've been having. I have an entire franchise of movies right here. I have a TV special. I have the last movie in a trilogy, and I have a 90s hidden gem. So yeah, I'll see you probably Wednesday or Thursday. Until then, please hit that like button, subscribe. That I can see you next time on the Midnight Movie Special.